going on, everybody? It's Mike here from the Garage Beers Podcast, and you know what time it is. Let's have this coffee and talk about the Cavs. It's a coffee day because I didn't get a chance to make a video about the game last night. Listen, we had some guests over at the house last night, and so while we watched the Cavs game, I didn't really feel like after the most embarrassing Cavaliers loss of the season, I didn't feel like coming down here into my basement, stepping away from my guests, and making a video about that. So it had to wait till today. Listen, embarrassing is the word to describe that game. That's an embarrassing loss by the Cavaliers. That's a bad loss by the Cavaliers. It's not embarrassing because they lost to the Kings. Kings are a much better team than what we're used to seeing in Sacramento. That's a much more talented roster than what we're used to seeing. And obviously the Cavaliers were without Donovan Mitchell and Kevin Love off the bench, and there were some things that were hampering their chances to win. But the Cavaliers played well enough to have a 95-87 lead with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the game. They played well enough to give themselves an 8-point cushion going into the last 5 minutes of the game. And then they come out and they give up a 19-0 run to the Sacramento Kings, and they lose 106-95. The Cavaliers don't score a point for the last 4 minutes and 50 seconds in the game, and it's because they went into spaz mode again. They did that in that long losing streak earlier in the season, where instead of closing out games, they just spaz. They turn the ball over like crazy at the end of the game. Instead of getting good looks, you have guys just kind of like wildly driving into the lane and just throwing the ball up, hoping it goes in and looking for fouls that they're not getting. You got guys that are missing wide open shots. Just nobody's doing their job. Nobody did their job for the Cavaliers last night in that last 5 minutes of that game. Nobody. And it's an embarrassing loss. You can't lose games like that, especially at home. And so, listen, good news is Cavaliers don't have a lot of time to kind of let this thing sink in. They got to turn this thing around because they got the Oklahoma City Thunder coming into Cleveland tonight. And so hopefully they can get it turned around. They can get a win against the Thunder, and we can forget about this disaster. Until tonight, we'll talk to you then. Cheers, everybody.